What's up, everybody? We're back on the Wolf House podcast episode. We have world-renowned professional skateboarder, DJ, brand owner, brother from another mother, Kevin Romar in the house. Man.
Yeah, man. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Nick?
Thank you for coming through today, man. We just wanted to have a little conversation with you. This is episode 3 of the Wolf House podcast, so thank you for coming in. And as you can see, we got a whole new set, so appreciate you coming in and christening the Wolf House podcast.
No problem. Yeah, no problem, man. Nice little new setup, dude. Looking sick, dude. Stoked for you, bro.
Thank you. All right, thanks for coming through, bro. We appreciate you so much.
No problem.
Let's get right into it, bro. Where are you from?
I am from 2 places. So I always say I'm from Cypress and Long Beach because those are the 2 places that raised me. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in Long Beach, born and raised, and then I moved to Cypress to start skating. Okay. Well, not to start skating, but to just move from all different types of family stuff. Gotcha. Moved to Cypress, started a whole new life over there with my family, and found skating from there. So, 2 different worlds, but 2 different kind of similar places. Oh, and cool. Yeah, man. So I always just say that it's hard to just say like I'm from one specific place for me because there's so much history between those 2 cities. So
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's cool, man. You spent quite an amount of time in both places, dude. What got you into skateboarding?
So what got me into skateboarding is I was playing football, and at the time I played sports throughout my whole life. And randomly walking home from school, somebody just, skated by me, ollied up a curb while I'm like in my pads and stuff like that. And I just blew me away. I was like,
what is that?
He just did, gravity was defied, all these things. I was like, how did the board stick to his feet? It got me really into like knowing that like there's a different world out there. If I just find it, it's kind of like the Matrix,
Seriously, I was like,
I gotta get in the Matrix. I gotta like get out of the Matrix too. So I dove in and got my first board. But from that experience, I told my mom, like, can you please give me a board? I just saw the craziest thing in my life.
Yeah.
And she did. And, one thing led to the other. But yeah, that's pretty much how my introduction to skateboarding was.
So it sounds like your mom was very supportive of your skateboarding. Would you say she was? Like, did she get you your first board or like?
At the beginning, she was like, just thinking, she was just more of like, this is a hobby. You know what I mean? More of like, let's just get him a board because he's, fascinated by it. But supporting wise, no, not really.
No? Like she was nervous you're gonna get hurt, or like
it was just because I wasn't
school, or what was it?
I wasn't focusing on my school. It was more of like I just wanted to skateboard after that. I got my first board. All I wanted to do was skate, and I was a pretty good like in academics. I was pretty good before I started skateboarding, and before I started moving around and stuff. But once I got that skateboard, it was a wrap. I stopped focusing on all types of school. All I was thinking about was all day I was dreaming about skateboarding.
Like, while you're in school, you're just thinking about what tricks I can try. Like, I just want to go skate with my friends. I don't even want to be learning this math or whatever it is. Where's my board at?
For 100%. Yeah, that's all I was thinking about is like, how do I learn how to ollie? And at first, like just reading a paper that I printed out and just like learning how to do all of these tricks that it just takes so long to do, you know what I mean? Yeah. That was like the coolest feeling. Like, I can't get it yet, but I'm gonna get it one day.
That's the Matrix. That's the unlock right there.
Exactly.
The levels. It's like video game levels to a video game. It's like
right? Totally. Yeah. There's so many levels to it. And once I landed that first ollie, it took like a year. I was like, you know what, man? Like, all I want to do is skate. Like that's all I think about. So my school started dipping, and I understood where she was coming from later. I had a chance to talk to my mom about this actually. Like, it wasn't the best at that time, but I understood where she's coming from, and she kind of understood where I was coming from, because she was raised as like, you got to be, do high school and all these things and be, graduate. And if you don't graduate, you kind of like the traditional way, and I broke that box completely. Yeah. Like, I'm not the traditional way.
That's what we do. We scribble outside the line.
Yeah. So she was like, you know what? Like, it was, you weren't, you didn't do good in school. You were just, skating, and I didn't know it was going to take off that way. So, she apologized and all these things, you know what I mean?
She's happy she let you skate now, bro.
Now she doesn't even, she's like, I can't believe where you went with this thing, you know what I mean? She's like, I didn't think you were going to graduate high school. I was like, I'm going to graduate high school. I'm going to show you that too. So I did that, and, she was just really proud that I even took the initiative to do that. But during school, bro, like, I had to do summer school. I had to do night school. I had to
make up for those credits, or what?
Because I was failing.
Yeah.
So I had to, in order to pass, I had to go to summer school, night school, after school, pretty
Weekend
much
school.
every type of school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a year, for like at least 2 years.
Yeah.
And you know, I got kicked out of school too, and like I had to come back, and then I just was such a bad student.
You're a bad kid?
No, I wasn't a bad kid. I just didn't want to do school anymore.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
it's like I
okay.
quit.
I
It just
could've
said
been
that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, but my teachers knew what my passion was,
Yeah.
so they kind of stuck with me. They're like, you know what? I know that this kid is always thinking about skateboarding. He's super smart, but he just, you know, we're gonna help him out. So one of my teachers, her name was Miss Harrell. She gave me packets to do to graduate high school. So I was technically like I had like a 2.7 before, and then she got me to a 3.0.
Oh, she was in your corner. That's what's
Yeah,
up, man.
yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to her.
Or 2.0. I think it's 2.0 to graduate, something like that. Yeah, I had a 1.7 or something.
Shout out to her. What was her name again?
Miss Harrell.
Shout out to Miss Harrell.
Shout out to Miss Harrell. That's the real one right there for sure. She gave me this big old packet to do.
Damn.
It got me those 3 extra points, and
Same.
yeah, I ended up knowing that day that I was gonna graduate. Literally, and I was like, I knew I was gonna graduate. You know what I mean? Like I knew it. So I got to walk down the aisle, had all my stuff. But
you lived up to that promise, so I bet Mom was stoked, bro.
Super stoked. You know, yeah. She was like, I'm glad you graduated high school. You know, she was like, I would have felt so bad if you didn't. You know what I mean? That's like our tradition. So I handled it, yeah. And then I was still skating like heavy. After I graduated, I was like, you know what, school, bye-bye. Like, I don't want to do it ever again.
I told you I would.
Yeah, because going to night school, man, like doing all that stuff, I didn't have a car or anything. I was still like really broke. So I had to take the bus every day to go to night school. And that was super far. Yeah. And skating, I would skate back and I'd just be like, dude, what is my life coming to right now? You know what I mean? Is this skateboarding stuff really worth it? You know, am I just like a failure? All these things go through your mind when you're doing that much school. You know what I mean? Like, why am I so far behind? I'm doing these random classes at night that are just, they don't make any sense. Like, I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna learn about this.
I'm gonna apply this later on to like, where is this gonna?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
For sure.
Just like to pass, just to show that hey, I'm doing the work. I'm just to pass the time. I'm putting this effort in, kind of thing, maybe, right? Yeah,
totally. Yeah, I did this one class in night school that. It was like making shapes on a computer. It was just the most randomest thing. I'm like,
this ain't no tray flip.
I was like, I'm like, why do I have to take this class? It didn't make any sense. It was these little shapes, you know, and like it was just, I don't know, it was like this weird graph thing that you had to do. And I would sit there, I'm like, all right, I'm just whatever, get this done, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was bad, man.
You see my chicken scratch, man. You see my chicken scratch, so, you know.
Yeah.
I'm more of a visual, and I feel.
I'm a visual person too.
I just took skateboarding all the way, and I was like, you know what?
Feel that.
It's cool, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, I feel.
Kids, stay in school for real.
For real. Did you graduate?
I did not graduate.
Oh, it's all good though, bro. Yeah. You know, you could still, you know.
I started traveling at such a young age. I started traveling at 7th grade.
7th grade.
Like in middle school, I had sponsors and stuff. So
did you go homeschool or?
In homeschool.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
But like you said, like traveling, I was traveling so much, everything else kind of took over, and school became secondary.
Totally, yeah.
And then when I started being able to make an income from it. Like, to be honest, I was making more than some of my teachers at the time. And so they were kind of seeing like, oh, well, this dude's getting free stuff, doing all this stuff in the magazines. What can we really tell him? Kind of thing. Yeah. You know, not like, oh, I was better and I knew more than anybody, but like I was just kind of excelling at a different rate. I couldn't really, I don't know, it didn't match up, you know? Right. Traveling and being able to go to school.
It's hard too. Yeah, it's really hard. I give people props that are able to balance that, but it's kind of rare, but it's like, dude, it's like, that's a tough thing to do, bro.
So congrats, like, big ups to like, I don't know, like Walker Ryan, Mark Suchu, like these guys are like,
they got the college.
They got like college degrees. Yeah. They're like fully writing books and stuff.
For sure.
And amazing on a skateboard. Big ups to that. That's tough right there.
Yeah. After going through all of these things, though, I'm like, I know I could go back to school. I've learned so many things, you know what I mean? Like, at that time, it was more of like, all I wanted to do was focus on skating, you know what I mean?
Get there.
I was super smart, though, but I just didn't want to do anything, you know what I mean? So now I feel like I could go back and if I wanted to, which, I don't know, go back for music or something like that. But you still have to go through all the beginning stuff of college. But the motions,
What was your first sponsor?
My first sponsor was Furnace Skate Shop.
Okay, so your first sponsor was a shop sponsor?
Shop sponsor, yeah.
Okay, how did that come about?
So the same dude that was skating by me that did the ollie up the curb, you know what I mean? Like, He was literally right next to the shop that was the skate shop that was right there. So I kept walking and I saw the furnace logo, the flame, and I was like, let me stop in there. And it was like another world, like what are all these skateboards on the wall? Like, whoa, like skate videos like on the TV, like this is crazy. Into the universe. I'm used to watching like football games and stuff like that, like Deion Sanders and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, who is this skater? Now that I'm knowing about this stuff. So I would pop into Furnace every day. I was a little kid. I had blonde hair and like I was just like a little random kid, dude. Yeah. Like it's cool now to have blonde hair.
Your hair was naturally blonde.
I dyed my hair. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I was like, you got blonde hair, bro.
There's no.
No, you're swagging out your Chris Breezy.
I was way ahead of the time, dude. I was the only one doing blonde hair. It was during like Cisco, like the Thong songs. Yeah, because I tried to dye my hair silver at first because I really liked that song. And then it turned blonde. I just kept it, and that was my thing for a while.
Sick.
Yeah, so.
Before the fro.
Okay. Yeah, before the fro. So I had blonde hair. That was like my thing at first. And I went to like the skate shop and that's what they knew me as, like blonde hair Kevin, like Romar. So, and yeah, man, they just knew me from there. And I kept going in that shop and they got really familiar with me at that time. And yeah, man, one thing led to another. So, man, shout out Furnace, dude. Yeah.
Shout out to Furnace, man, for real.
Yep.
That's where it all started right there.
Yep.
I've been in there a couple times with you. Like back in the day, I think we popped in a little bit. Like we probably had this change of order or something.
Yeah.
We linked with like Don and Alec Jameer. I think D-Rex, of course, too. Derek Wilson.
My brothers.
And yeah, that's how I met all those guys through you.
Yeah.
I think one time when we were skating around, we ended up popping into that shop or something.
Oh, sick, man. Yeah.
I want to say, brother, had like one of your ads on the wall or something. I was like really like hyped on that.
Heck
like,
yeah.
With the bro, this fool's got his ad on the wall. This is sick. Walking in there with you and shit.
Yeah, man. Cool, they made a little window for me a couple times. And there's been 2 different shops, one at a different location. So they moved to a different location now. But there's one was like this huge shop. It was connected to the record store called Bionic. Okay. And yeah, it's like you could walk through the shop and get to a record store and vice versa and get to the skate shop. Gotcha. And I thought that was so cool when I was a little kid, seeing vinyl and all of that, like records, So I was like, this is sick, a skate shop and music. So yeah. Okay,
so like a skate shop to me was like the safe haven. Like as a little kid, you go there and you can kick it there, like get familiar with everything, like watch skate videos and just really soak up game and get put on, right?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, were there any pros you looked up to or anybody like that you idolized or just skated with on the daily?
At first, it was like a crew. You know what I mean? It was like these guys that I looked up to as far as like they're better than me at skating. So like this crew called Shred Dogs.
Shred Dogs.
Yeah, there was like this Cypress crew that they were all kicking together and just that's how I met Alec too. Same. And my brother Alec Jameer. But yeah, we all used to skate together. But I had to like prove myself for that crew and I would skate with them all the time. And, one thing led to another, but, looking up to people that are better than you is always really sick when you're a little kid. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of guys you like idolize for sure. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to be just like him. So yeah.
and then like you develop like that inspiration for them and they motivate you and kind of show you the ways, right?
For sure. But at that time, before like I was skating with them, but taking it back a little bit before I started skating with them, I would get dropped off at El Dorado Skate Park at Long Beach.
Okay.
And it was kind of like that same time, but my mom would work so much, I mean, from early on, she would work in Carson and LA and stuff. So she would take me to El Dorado from 9 a.m., drop me off there, and I'd stay there till 9 at night.
No way.
So I always tell people like that was the coolest part of the journey. It was the most hardest part of the journey of getting to skating. But I've seen all the skaters come through that park. Yeah. So all those pro skaters back then, like that were popping, you know what I mean? Like
which pros did you see coming to the skate park?
It would see Evan Hernandez, Terry Kennedy. I would see Scott Kane. I would see Bashis Alabonzi. I would see, dude, like
Tim.
Yeah. Chat Tim. Dude. Jeff Rowell, everyone rode by there, dude.
Yeah.
Every single pro, because that was the only part that Nick Garcia. Yeah, we were all skating together though. I grew up skating with them. Those were part of the crew that we were with.
That's Shred Dogs, right?
They were in Shred Dogs for a bit. Yeah, for a little bit. So yeah.
Damn, so all you guys came up together.
Julian Davidson, Nick Garcia, Billy Davenport, dude, Alex Jameer, Derek Wills. Yeah, we all.
That's so cool. Man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
So cool.
Yeah.
And we still out here rocking still.
Yeah, Donnelly Wong, he's a Toy Machine filmer now.
Yeah.
But he was art, like the filmer that filmed us all the time. So and he rips at skating, like he's super good.
I remember he's super cool style too.
Yeah. He's a Toy Machine guy now, and that was his favorite company. It's cool to see all my bros do their stuff that like they wanted to be a part of. So
yeah, it's cool to see like people that are intertwined in the skating game still, whether like a team manager, company owner, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But then there's like our other friends too, like we could say like Abner the homie, right? He's on like the media side of things. Right?
Abner too, yeah. So Abner, yeah.
Someone like him, he took like, because we through skateboarding we work with videographers, photographers, and stuff. So we do work with the media too, And for him, I feel like he's paid attention and learned that side, the camera side of stuff, and now he's able to apply it. And I see you working with him too.
Yeah, man.
He's able to rock with us as skaters, and it came back full circle. Now he's able to kind of.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. He's really good at what he does. Like he's super good. Yeah.
So it's super cool.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about the ice cream days, man.
Ooh-wee.
What was it like being on ice cream and going on tour with Pharrell?
Man,
Pharrell Williams.
So I never really got to go on tour with Pharrell. I've seen him a few times though.
Okay.
That was more like Jacob. So pretty much Jacob Walder. I met him at Tampa Am, 2006, I think it was, or something like that. And I don't know how we connected. He was staying at the same hotel I think I was at, we were both at the same hotel.
Yeah.
And I went up to him. I was like, "Hey man, you're part of Ice Cream." Like, cause I saw that first Ice Cream video. I was like, "Yo man, like." That video was so funny, bro. Like, it's so good. And we just kind of clicked from there.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was writing for audio at the time.
Okay.
Audio shoes. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to get on the team, man. Is there any way you could talk to the team manager over at Ice Cream? And he's like, yeah, man. He was a fan of, he saw the Barry video, or not the Barry video, but he saw like the part before that.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, man, I want to definitely get you some stuff if I could. So he reached out to Nino Scalia at the time. And he came back to me. He's like, yeah, we'll give you some shoes. So I started getting shoes from there, and I was like, the most brightest color stuff.
Yeah. And the shoes were crazy because weren't they made out of like basketball material?
It felt like that. Like the toe cap was definitely super grippy.
Yeah.
Like the board flip ones, the grippiest shoe I've ever skated in my life.
Yeah.
It was like pretty hard to skate. You really had to like rub it on your grip tape, like just get all that basketball shit off of it.
Grip is real.
It was real. Yeah. So yeah, he hooked me up with all that, man, and it was really rad, man, to be a part of that crew. Like, Ice Cream back then was such a phenomenon, you know. It was such a like huge entity. Anywhere Ice Cream was, like, that was like, it was like being famous at like anywhere you went. If you had the dimes and dollars stuff on, everyone was like, oh my, I wish to go to school like that. Like I had all the dimes and dollars. Yeah.
It's like it's one thing to be a skateboarder, but that company brought things to a whole different level.
They brought
almost like Louis Vuitton, like
100.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like kind of how it is now. Like where skaters are tapping into the fashion world, like it was like that back then. But before any skaters, into the fashion world, you know what I mean?
It changes the game. Like that company changed the game, and it for like African American skaters, like specifically, that opened the door for a lot of that, like the ethnicity of that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was more of like, wow, you could dress like that and be cool still in skateboarding. And shout out to, you know, the team for doing all that. But so
y'all paved the way with that. That was sick. I remember Jacob gave me, he wore like a size 12 big old foot. And I was a little dude, and he gave me a big old shoe, and I squeezed my foot in it. Or not squeezed, I put my foot in it, and the thing was moving around. It was so big, but I tried to skate him, bro, because I wanted to be like y'all. I was like, I wanted to just rock. I just wanted to rock the shoes, bro, because, you know, it just made me feel cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I mean, I got to go on a lot of different like parties and stuff that the Ice Cream threw, and Pharrell would be up there. But you know, Pharrell was such a big. He came out. He was like insane at the time. So I mean, he still is, but he was doing stuff with like, you know, all these top artists. You know what I mean? Justin Timberlake and all these things. So anywhere he went, it would just be this crowd of people.
Wow.
So you wouldn't be able to like, I couldn't really talk to him. You know what I mean? Just say what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just keep it pushing.
But it's cool.
No, you good. Yeah.
But do you think it's still cool to like say like we were still like a part of that, like because you're still technically close to him. You skated for the same brand that he was involved with.
Yeah.
Although you weren't like in the van with him all the time, but like you still had that like.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Association, you know what I mean?
For sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean it was in the video, and I rock with those. I would skate with all of the team, for sure, the team all the time. So just Pharrell is just such a big, big entity, so it's a little different. But I was only flow, so I never exactly was officially on. I almost got there, but sponsor changes happened at that time, so. But being a part of it still, like they technically was still a part of it, so it was good times.
I remembered ice cream, and I remembered your name along with it. When I thought ice cream, I thought about you, Jacob, and Pharrell, a few people. Yeah,
so. That's cool, man. A lot of people tell me that too, and I'm like, man, that's awesome that you incorporate me into that. So
What was your favorite shoe?
The board flip 2s for sure. Yeah, and I did like the boutiques. Those with the diamonds and dollars on the side and the dice and stuff like that. Yeah. Those are really cool. Like those, like if you step out in those, man, you got the drip on. So it's super drippy. I used to wear those in school, bro, and everybody would be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
you
how? They're like, "How are you doing this?"
I know, because they're like up there. They're like $900 shoes and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. See? So
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Do you remember the first video you were in?
Legit video or just like a video?
We'll start with the first just video in general you're in.
I was a part of the Shred Dogs, or actually, Shred Dogs was like the first kind of like.
So the first video was like a
homie video.
Okay, now what was the first like world premiere video you were in?
Yeah, like what you did there. It was the Barry video. That's the one that got my name out there for sure. Yeah.
That was with the Nolly Hill down Wilshire 15.
Down 15, yeah.
I was there for a couple of those sessions, dog.
You were, huh?
Tried it, Dang, I wasn't there when you landed it, but I was there when you tried it.
Bro, I went back so many times, dude. I went back 7 times. 6 or 7 times.
What was that session like? Did you have to prep? Like, did you go to a skate park and practice your Nolly Hills a bunch, or did you just kind of wing it?
Yeah, so I go to Eldo and do it off the big quarter pipe drop there over and over again. Okay. But it's still hard to prepare yourself off of 15s there. So,
but you did that.
Yeah, the last time though I went there, and John Barry, R.I.P. He set up one angle to do Nolly Hill. He got the top angle, and that was the only angle he had.
No way.
So I landed it. I gave the security guard $100 first, and so, excuse me, I gave him $100. He let me skate for an hour. So after I did I tried it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And then after that, I want to say 45 minutes. I landed it. But I only had one angle, and I didn't roll off the curb. So I kind of just like drifted and fell off the curb. But that spot, you have to roll off the curb. You have to roll off the curb, dude.
Like that, like
like I need that. You couldn't tell.
It's like Hollywood High. If you run into the fence, it's like you did it, but like if you can go past the fence and keep moving, and it's like
totally, man, like 100%. So you couldn't tell in the footage, but I fell off the curb. Yeah, it looks like I rolled off of it. So I just like, you know what? Let's do it again. Mm-hmm. So he got a different angle. He got the bottom angle. Wow. Boom. Did it, rolled away off the curb. So I did it twice that day.
What was that feeling like? Like the second your wheels roll off the curb and those 4 wheels hit the fucking street and you're still going.
I was like, bro, I know I did this buttery. Like in my head, when you roll, you're like, because I landed bolts. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I know I landed this buttery. I can roll off the curb. Boom. Yeah. And I think after that session, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, Barry, we did it, bro. Barry, we did it. Yeah. And he was just like, I'm so happy for you. He stuck with me the whole time, man. Like, I love John Barry, man. R.I.P. Man, that was my dog. Yeah, we would have so many night sessions and like day sessions to get that part done, like throughout a course of like 6 to 8 months or something like that. So we were consistently going. Yeah, he was down, bro. It's hard to find a filmer like that sometimes to like just want to go out all the time. So
isn't it crazy? Like there's been times where the filmer will be more hyped than me on that trick, or like the filmer's more hyped on the trick than the skater. Like he's putting so much energy into like, you got it, bro. Because there's times where like you say, you go back 7 times and it can be discouraging, bro. You're like, fuck, I'm here again. Like, I ain't catching this shit right today. Ain't popping. Yeah. Like, you got your filmer, bro, and he's hyping your shit up, bro. You might just push through it and probably roll away and do it just off the fact that he's giving you that energy, you know?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And it's good to have a filmer like that, you know, that's pushing you to like want to get it, you know, especially if your goal is to get a part done, you know, and they're like, let's get it, you got it, you know. Like I love that, you know, that makes me more motivated when you have like a team or something like that that's like pushing you to do it. So yeah, R.I.P. Barry, bro. Like he's the sickest filmer, bro. There's a lot of good filmers, but he's definitely top 5 on my list for sure.
Man.
Yeah,
Legend.
yeah, legend
right there. Let's talk about the Santa Monica triple set sessions.
Yeah,
I know you've had. Well, first of all, what can you tell us? What tricks you've successfully rolled away from?
Off the triple set, no, I've done 2 tricks. Nollie back heel and nollie back 360.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I just assume you've done everything, dog.
Dude, that's
you're amazing, bro. And I just like, for sure he did it. You know?
No, that
big hill, he did his shit. You know?
Cody Mack, he did nollie big hill. Yeah. But I went back so many times for that nollie back hill too. I went 2 or 3 times, but that spot is such a nightmare because there's so many people walking.
Traffic,
the cracks that roll in is just heavy, dude. Yeah. Like you got to come there like prepared. Yeah, and it's long. The triple set's long. You know, it's like a distance, and there's a crack that goes right when you land. There's a bar right there with all the people watching, and
you chose to skate and ollie out of everything.
Man, I was on it, dude.
Did you ollie it first?
I did ollie it. Yeah, okay. I did ollie it first.
You ollie and kickflip it?
No, just ollie.
Just straight to it.
I like to get to a spot and just get done. Like I want to I don't want to waste my time and like.
Then you start to like overthinking and stuff, or what?
I just don't like to just like jump down it for no reason. Gotcha. You know, I just want to get there, and I don't want my legs sore if I'm just gonna.
Go for it.
Yeah, there'll be times I'll do a kickflip or something, but something like that.
No,
I'm going straight nollie back heel, nollie back 360. Yeah, straight into it.
And were those sessions? Did you land each of those tricks on the first session, or did it take multiple times to come back?
The nollie back heel, it went back twice. So yeah, I went back twice. And
how long did each session? Did you go for it on each session?
The first session for nollie back heel was I was trying for like 2.5 hours. Wow. Yeah, man. Trying for 2.5 hours until I gave up. You know, my legs couldn't. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take the abuse anymore. So I was like, I got the sequence that day though.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got the Anthony Acosta shot it.
So you said you got the nollie back heel sequence on the first session?
Oh yeah, so I got the first. So on the first session, Anthony Acosta shot the nollie back heel. And I landed on it second try, rolled away, and I jumped off because I didn't like the way I like to land shit buttery. So I don't want to I landed. I didn't tic tac or anything. I just didn't land like how I wanted to.
I envisioned it.
Yeah, so I like rolled and I couldn't roll away all the way.
Did you hit the bench on the side?
No, I just like when you land and you swerve and you you on a sequence it looks like you landed it, but on the footy you can't. And I jumped off. Okay. So he was able to use that sequence.
Okay.
But for footy wise, I just couldn't, I had to come back. But I landed the second try the first time. Like that.
Second try,
yeah. So I wanted to do it.
On the first session you try and nollie back hill, you landed a second try?
Yeah, second try. Wow. Yeah. I got lucky, man.
Guys. Wow. That's not luck, bro.
Yeah. But I don't know, bro. I my legs were just like set and ready to go.
Yeah, football legs.
Yeah, I got the football legs, dude.
You were fresh off the nollie down to 15. That's why.
But yeah, I tried it for so long after that, tried to get it buttery, and it just did not work. So I came back the second time, and yeah, man, I handled that. It took me 2 hours to do it that time. So
isn't that crazy how you can land on a trick or just get really close within the first few minutes, and then it can go all out the window, and then on the next session it can take you so much longer. Yeah, it's so crazy how skating works. It's such hit or miss.
Seriously, bro. Yeah.
Depends on the day, really.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. The second time, man, I was literally about to be done. I was like, you know what? If I can't land it here, I'm gonna call it. I'm done. I landed it, dude. Like I was like, please, Lord, like let me land this. Yeah. I rolled down it and like pop, nollie, boom, back heel, rolled away. And I just looked up like, oh, I can't believe it.
Blackout things?
Yeah, and I think I blacked out. I blacked out for sure. Yeah.
And you're just rolling away all of a sudden?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
I just hear screams like, ah, we did it.
like, I did?
Yeah, man. That was such a crazy feeling, bro.
Wow,
You know those blackout, those tricks where you're just like,
yeah,
you know, you try for so long, you just somehow miraculously land it. You're just like, whoa, what happened?
So for like the longest time, I've been trying to figure out what that could be, like psychologically, how to make sense of what a blackout could be. Because you're right, it just happens and you're rolling away.
Yeah.
And the only logical thing I can think of is we blink midair, and we don't realize we blink.
Yeah.
We're rolling away, and that blink is so fast that within that millisecond of the board flipping, we're already rolling away.
Yeah. You know? I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Throughout the whole time we're trying the trick, we're so focused, we're like this, we're not blinking.
Yeah.
And then on that one try, we're blinking, we're rolling away. That's the only thing
I can see that for sure. For me, I'm like, dude, an angel caught me right there, bro.
There you go.
He just like, brought me into the thing and let me land that. So
yeah, bro. That's what's up. Damn, bro.
Yeah. Nah, it all worked out, man. So you know, those are the tricks that definitely set me over the that got me to where I needed to be. So
yeah, absolutely. Those are staple tricks, man.
Yeah.
Go do your research, guys. Go make sure you watch that part. Go watch those parts.
Yeah. The Nollie 360 though, I did that pretty quick. Did that. It took me like I think 7 tries to do that. So
lucky number 7.
That was I had that trick dialed at that
you
point.
You stick most of them or what?
I suck every single. I try to stick that trick as
you
most.
Stuck the first one.
No, I don't think it was. I always bail the first one. Yeah, I'm just like, oh shit.
The second one, bro.
Yeah. Then like the second.
Watching you do that trick. You do it with your arms there. Like the Nollie 180, that stoked me out. And then when you started learning the Nollie 3s, I was like, because he already does the Nollie 180s dope.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, how the hell he just took it up a notch with another spin, but he's still doing it the same. Like that shit is so cool, bro.
Thanks, man. That's the old faithful right there.
A secret way of skating, bro. Many people have not tapped into. Pay attention, yo. Speaking of angels, man, RP Jake Phelps, bro. Let's talk about the Wallenberg session. What was that like? Like going from LA to all the way to SF, you know, and being amongst all these top pro skateboarders and just like trying to get in the mix and prove yourself. What was that like?
Right. It was, bro. That was the wildest contest I've ever been to, and in my entire life. Yeah. I didn't know what I was stepping into. I just heard this was like the craziest contest. And me being my little naive self, I thought everyone knew who I was at the time. Yeah. Because from the Barry video.
You were popping though.
I thought so, but that wasn't the case once I got there, dude. Jake Phelps had no idea who I was. You know what I mean? Most of these SF dudes had no clue who I was. Damn, you know what I mean? There was only a select few. Yeah. So I really had to prove myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was getting chocolate flow and S's at the time. So it gave me a little bit of like leeway, but man, that was insane, bro. Phelps hated me. Like because SF hates LA with a passion.
It'd be clicky.
They don't like the Dodgers at all. Like they hate the Dodgers.
Giants versus Dodgers.
Giants, right? Yeah. It's like the craziest rival. So I wore a Dodger hat to the freaking contest.
You was out there. You
was SF. I had no
the red hat.
Yeah.
For sure. You were repping though. You was out there like, fuck
bro, you know, because I used to wear Long Beach hats all the time, and then I was like, I switched it to the LA hats, and it was the blue hat. And once he saw that blue hat, it was a game over. He was like, "Who is this dude with the Dodger hat? Who is this dude with the Dodger cap?" And he just, his anger was pointing at me the whole entire time, dude. I really had to prove myself. So, dude, he would stand in the middle of the 4 block, just like trying to get me hurt, you know. And I'm like, crazy. I'm like, dude, this is dangerous, bro. But I, myself knowing that like you gotta be the bigger man in certain situations sometimes, and it paid off that time. So he got a lot of flack from that. We became cool after that though. I just want to say like I have no hate against Phelps at all. Yeah. At that contest though, he did hate me. So that's it is what it is. He didn't know who I was, but I definitely made a name for myself after that. So set choosing. He was SF.
Outsiders, huh?
Yeah, he's an SF legend though. So he's Dodger. I mean, Giant stout, not
that's
Dodger.
Like
so
that's his home court right there.
It is, yeah. I'm stepping into his world, right? I'm stepping into his land in a sense, his contest. So.
But you were able to prove yourself. You freaking threw it down, bro. You got out there and you freaking went for it, dude. So I feel like that built a big respect in his eyes after, you know what I mean?
It did, yeah. And that was when YouTube was like kind of, it wasn't first starting. It was like 3 years after YouTube had started. So everything was going to YouTube. And there was comment sections, you know what I mean? So you're able to read everything. And everyone like gave him a lot of shit for that, man. Like it was kind of like if that was today's age, it would have been worse. You know what I mean? But knowing felt like that, it opened his eyes to be like, you know what, I messed up. You know what I mean? So when I saw him the next time and I started doing my thing, you could tell like he was sorry. He didn't apologize, but he was trying to like give me advice. He was trying to like help me out with certain things. So I could see like the
he was making the effort.
The effort for sure.
That's respectable in itself, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. Damn,
yeah, but that was a crazy contest, man. I like all of my favorite pros were skating it. You know, dropping into that rolling was the most hectic thing.
Yeah, how was going into the rolling nollie?
Sketchy, bro. You gotta like I don't even know.
Wallenberg's huge, bro. Wallenberg is like big 4 stair. Each stair is like half of this room pretty much.
Yeah.
Bro. You gotta go so fast. And it's not really tall, it's low, so like with that being said, you gotta haul ass to clear that thing. Bro.
So fast. I think that was the scariest part.
Skates at nollie. Like, you're probably the only one.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, Shane nollie back-heeled it.
He nollie back-heeled it.
But other than that, no one's really skated at nollie since.
I think Zach Wallen nollied it? I don't know.
He nollied straight nollie?
Something like that.
That's gnarly.
I would be wrong though, but yeah.
That's gnarly. Shout out to Zach Wallen. Damn.
Yeah.
Zach Wallen and Wallenberg.
Yeah. So I just stick to the nollie threes, man, and it got his attention. Everyone wanted me to land that at that contest, dude. Like everyone was so hyped. I got from that contest, I got the recognition and like the approval. You know, in skateboarding, you gotta have to have some approval from certain types of companies, like Deluxe and all these things. Like Deluxe is like where you really want to be like that core in a sense. Yeah. So that contest really got me like their heads like, let's put them on Venture, let's put them on these type of things. You know what I mean? So that helped in a sense, even though I didn't land it. Sometimes I always say like that not landing it was almost better than
like
landing it.
What if you went and did it today? That would be crazy. That would come full circle and complete the story. It'd almost be better if you did it today. Not saying you got to.
Bro, I went back and tried it. I went back a second time to try it. Yeah. Not too many people know that though, but yeah, so I went there on a blind trip with TJ Rogers when he went to switch big spin it. He did it like third try. And I was stuck up there by myself. Like,
I want to try this again.
I'm like, I need some motivation, dude. He just did this third try. I'm over here coming unglued. I was so furious. I just couldn't get myself to do it. Yeah. I probably needed to be in contest mode again or something, dude. Yeah. I couldn't commit to it. So, yeah.
Well, stay tuned. If you guys are lucky, you may see an Nollie 360, you know.
Yeah. I don't think so, man.
Guys, you never know. Don't wait on it, but wait on it.
I don't know about that one.
What was your first ad in a magazine, and what magazine was it in?
My first ad was a Mata ad.
Ooh,
yeah, man, Mata ad. I was doing switch front hill down Rincon to 4 block. Yeah,
in San Diego.
Yeah, man.
Escondido, yo.
That's your hood, dude.
That's right, San Diego.
That was my first ad, though. Yeah.
How did that Did you switch 180 at first? Did you plan that out? Did you know you were gonna go to Rincon with that trick in mind, or did you just get there and randomly try it?
Yeah, so I was on Powell at the time, and DeVille was the team manager, and I told him that I had this trick, and you know DeVille, he's like, let's go to the biggest spot in the world. So he's just like, let's go to Rincon. I'm like, you know what? I went there at night too, you know. So
I know the flashes going on. And stuff.
So you know the story, right?
We're gonna.
Okay. You know the story, right? Okay.
Let's talk about the story.
So you know me, I just go straight for the trick. I don't even try. I'll try a switch 180, but like after I like kind of get like the motion, I'm like, I'm just gonna go for fill it out. Yeah. So I started trying switch front hill. I probably tried for at least 25, 30 minutes jumping down that thing.
It's a big set.
Because I was like, it's hard to land tricks, especially off like big stuff.
Yeah, to get yourself to commit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Rincon.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't know, I don't know what was up with DeVille at that time, but he was kind of caught in a daze. He was just kind of daydreaming. And Rincon, you have to throw down. You have to kind of just like
quick throw down.
You
gotta run through the grass, and it's like a small
literally
sidewalk.
It's literally like the size of this table. Yeah. So I don't know if he didn't hear me coming or not for like throwing my board down. So I threw my board down, and that one, like I switched front hill, caught it, rolled away. He just DeVille at the bottom was dazed out, and then he sees me like land it, and he's like, and then his camera comes out.
No way.
And I roll away, and he missed the sequence.
No way.
And everyone that was there was like they were like, "Oh my gosh, like he missed it," you know what I mean?
You'll see the flashes every other time. And
Yeah.
then that try, you didn't see the
Yeah,
flashes. Huh?
yeah, and the people that we were skating with, they knew that he missed it, and he's like, "Romar, I missed it," and I was like, "Are you serious?" You know, like, no,
Perfect.
yeah, that was like the out of all of the ones, like that was the one that was like the best, you know, that like I committed to and rolled away. So I was like, "All right, man, what do we do?" You know, I was like, "What do we do from here?" He's like, "We're gonna have to piece it together." So I had to switch. I was like, "Man, I have to jump down this thing again." So I had to switch 180 it.
No way.
Yeah, then I had to fling out a couple switch front heels, you know, and like bail them. But like my legs are already fried, you know, like I don't want to have to do all this again.
Rolled away,
Yeah.
Like, not even thinking about I gotta jump down this again.
Yeah.
You're thinking about I'm done jumping down, so I'm not jumping down this ever again.
Ever again, yeah. Thank God he got. I mean, he did come through and get the steel angle, and then there was a sequence.
I do remember the mod ad.
Yeah, it was like this blue writing.
So it was pieced together then.
Yeah, it was pieced together, the sequence. So I had a checkout, and that was used for that. The sequence. Yeah.
So maybe it was because I remember he did shoot a fisheye. He was on the middle, kind of in the middle of the stairs. So maybe he wasn't.
He was at the bottom.
See you coming. Oh, he
was at the bottom. Yeah.
So he probably couldn't see you coming, right?
Yeah.
And then last minute was like, oh shit, and it just didn't.
That fool was caught in the days,
right,
bro. He was dangerous.
Or he was too just hyped on the trick. He was just too amazed, like, oh my god, he slipped for a million. And then he was like, oh shit, hold on, what was I doing again?
He was daydreaming.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
I love the Bill, but yeah, he knows.
The Bill's a G, man. It's all love.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. That's funny. What's it like going from idolizing your favorite pros to now being right next to them, skating with them, on the same team, traveling the world with them, and just now you're basically in the same game as these people you idolize? What is that like?
Bro, I was thinking about this the other day, man, like reflecting all that, you know what I mean? Like, that is such a crazy feeling, man. Which like all the OGs respect me and stuff like that, and people call me an OG now too. And it's just like, I mean, you were there too, man. We were all on the super trips and stuff like that, and just being with those people that we watched when we were a kid, and just like, damn, I want to be like them. We're on our way, but you know, when we got the respect from those guys, it was kind of like, all right, we're doing this. You know what I mean? And now to feel like people are put me in that kind of category, you too. It's like that's all we wanted, you know, like we wanted to feel that respect, you know, like, damn, we did that, you know, like, oh my gosh, that was a long journey, but man, we did that, man.
World premiere,
heck yeah, dude, world premiere, baby. The journey is everything, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And then you ended up in the van and, you know, on trips with your favorite pros and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, all those super trips, man, like I already took all that in, man, because that was...
I haven't yet.
Really?
I still like sit back and I'll like get flashbacks and memories of certain things I had forgotten about. I'm like, oh yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
And it'll come back back to me.
Right. Yeah. That was such a lesson for me, like that being on that team. Like my favorite companies were Crew and Supra.
Yes.
But Crew, like most definitely. But I learned from there, do not put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
If you do that, you kind of destined for like it could be failure. You know what I mean? It financially wise, you know what I mean? That happened to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was like, that was my favorite companies. I wanted to risk it. I didn't know anything about business or anything like that. And so, you know, when it folded, I was like, oh man, what do I do? You know what I mean? Or when we got let go or whatever. So yeah, it was a whole different ball game. But yeah.
But like going through that, now you're able to pivot and understand like what comes with being sponsored and like these contracts and stuff, because as kids coming up, we live off of passion and
off of passion, man.
We get free products. Oh, now we get to travel. Wait, y'all gonna pay us for shit we've already been doing? Yeah. Hell yeah. And we're with the homies. Right. We're not thinking about what goes into organizing a trip, the budget set out for each skateboarder, you know, the obligations they have set for us within these contracts, and this becomes a real job. Right. And that's fine. But it's important for us to I feel like it's our job to kind of lead the new generation and kind of inform them of that. Like, hey, this is your passion, this is your love, enjoy this and love this thing. But also at some point, if you work hard enough, business will come into play. So just be mindful of that.
You definitely have to be mindful of that.
There's a lot of business that comes.
A lot of business, and when you sign with somebody, especially like a Supra, you want to kind of you want to be able to get a pro shoe.
Yes.
I feel like for anybody out there that's wanting to get sponsored and be like on a big company, like a shoe company, your goal is to get a shoe. So before you sign, you got to tell them that like before I sign, I have to be guaranteed a shoe. You know what I mean? Or something in that way so that you're coming up with something, not just signing just to get money. Because then what do you know, what's the deal? You know, you want to be able to have that.
Almost like setting different milestones within certain goals for yourself.
Because that's the goal, is like you want to become a pro skater, you have pro shoe, pro, all these things, you know what I mean? And what are you working for? You know, what's your goal? Like where else would you be signing something, you know?
Exactly.
So that's what I wish I would have done, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm on these trips. I'm getting the last trick on all of these tour videos. I'm putting in a lot of work, you know what I mean? You saw all this happening. Yeah. I'm trying to get like my foot into a pro shoe, you know what I mean? And when it doesn't work out, you're like, dang, man, what did I just do all that for? You know what I mean? But you gain a lot of memories, which is cool. But business side, it's a different story for sure.
There's a lot of politics that come into the skate stuff, right?
There is.
And timing is everything.
With companies, there's a lot of politics too. I don't know what made the insider stuff. Maybe they used a lot of us, you know, for their gain. And that, you know, that's a part of the game. But
it's business. Though, right? That's what I mean by like utilizing us as like. I call us like kind of like chess pieces in a sense, right? Because as a business, you have certain pieces you got to move around to make things lucrative and work. So like, you know, us understanding that we are a part of a piece in this puzzle and understanding, you know, there's certain ways you can move, and like you said, setting certain goals and milestones to almost like control your narrative and create the direction you want to go in instead of just waiting on the itinerary and having, you know, these brands dictate in which direction you go. Just kind of like how you have world premiere now. Like now you're in charge of your marketing,
right?
Your own promotion. You're in charge of what you want your graphics to look like. Before it was a brand, you know, hey, here's a box, bro, wear this stuff.
Yeah, you know? For sure. Yeah. So, when you're part of like a brand, you know, you kind of are in that brand. To separate yourself is a little different type of work, you know what I mean? So they branded us to be super. So when you thought of, you know, Nick Tucker, you thought of, you know, the brands that you were a part of. So I don't know, I would just say before anybody does like any type of signing and stuff, just really think about what their future may be with that brand, you know.
Like, where do you see yourself with the brand, essentially? Yeah. Or where would you like to see yourself?
For sure, yeah.
Right? Because if you don't really have, like, a vision, they may take the reins and market you however they choose to and build you out however they decide.
Build you out just to let you go. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, why did you guys even put us on in the first place? What was your guys' goal? You know what I mean? And, you know, once we saw that company kind of fold, you know what I mean? We're like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I had just brought a Benz too. I was like getting paid, you know what I mean? Then that happened. I was like, I got to figure out something else to do. You know what I mean? But, you know, looking back on it, I'm like, man, I wish I could have just like, I wish S didn't go out of business at that time. And then I wish, you know, but I'm so grateful that super stuff happened, you know what I mean? And it was good times and all of that. It was really, really awesome. It's just, I wish things were ended up better over there for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Because we had the best team, I think, for any company. I feel like we had all the legends, bro.
All the bros too.
Yeah, we were at the time.
Along, and we were kicking with the legendary pros, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Young cats, just like cruising.
Dude, Penny, you know, Muska, Ellington, you know, Greco, Lizard, Greco, Stevie,
TK, bro.
You know, all these guys, man. Yeah, Penny would come into my room he would come kick it and freestyle.
Yeah.
With me and Furby were in the room.
So epic. And shout out to Phelps too.
Yeah, Furby, man. That's my dog, dude. Yeah. Best skater ever. That dude is the best, man.
Yeah, man.
I love Furby, man. He's one of the, like, I for skating wise, I love watching him skate. Like, he's top 10 for me.
I mean, I would say you guys kind of have like a similar style. I could see where you maybe got a little inspiration from.
We came up at the same. So me, Antoine, and Furby kind of came up at the same time.
Maybe
Antoine used to come to the park.
But y'all got inspiration off each other.
I just like the way he lands bolts. You know what I mean? I like anybody that could. But it makes it look smooth. You know, it doesn't like. It's just I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like I saw that in you, like the same like technique and stuff. Like how y'all do the tricks and stuff.
I mean, I could see the similarities for sure. A lot of people say like Twan, Furby, me, like we don't fit in that little box, but
the arm down thing, bro.
I don't even try to do that, man. Like I really don't try to skate like that, but.
And that's why it's dope.
I don't really even try. No, I don't. I'm not copying anybody's style. I just, I don't even. Yeah, I don't try to do it like that. So.
You're trying to steal your style, dog.
You're trying to steal your style, dog.
Let's bring it back, bro.
Yeah.
How did we meet? Do you remember?
Dude, I met you. Where did I meet you at, dude? It was at a spot, right?
I want to say it was like Damn Am days, bro.
Was it Damn Am?
Yeah.
Okay. You were a little guy.
I was a little guy with afro still.
You had the fro.
And it was Abner. It was Jacob Walder. What is she doing? Abner, Jacob Walder, and I think it was Damn Am. And then Corey Cabrera was the filmer. And I think Jacob was doing the ice cream thing, and he was filming a lot with Corey. And that's like how I met Corey, and then and then through them I met you.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
I think. Crazy, man.
I remember I thought I saw you at a spot first, and I thought I saw you trying a trick down the 4 block first at San Pedro. I think that's how.
The bigger flip day?
No, you switched.
Oh, switch you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think that's the first time.
Clip the last set.
I think that's.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the first time I actually like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kinked Alpayard rails out front.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. So old school 4 block in San Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still there, maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. What year was that? Do you know?
It's like 2007, I think. Wow. Yeah, something like that.
Almost 2023 right now. We're damn near.
Dude, almost 20 years, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we still here, Kev. We still here, Kev. Let's go, bro. Alright, man. Speaking of, like, we've been here for a minute, bro, doing our thing, man. We still rocking, still getting it. It's still our world premiere. We're still on the journey. We're still going, bro.
Right.
We are Wolves, you know. We're pushing forward.
Yes,
we
sir.
got our brands, you know, all the homies. You got your brand, you know, Keelan's got his brand. We got Boo Johnson. We got a lot of homies who got brands now in the game, and it's pretty cool to see, you know.
Right. I love that, dude. I love seeing people do stuff outside of the skateboarding. You know what I mean? Like, what's next, or if you're still in it, like you're still pursuing something else. I love that. You know what I mean? Yeah. For sure.
And with that being said, bro, like, so you've been through kind of the motions. You've had a few different board sponsors and stuff, but what was it like skating for like chocolate and like just kind of like going through the industry motions and then finally finding your home on Blind Skateboards, man. Finally finding, you know, where you belong after trying out different boards, even different teams, like meshing with different personalities and stuff, and then now finding that home. What was that like? Bro,
that's what you search for, you know what I mean, in skateboarding. Like that seriously, like, I don't know, I was like, finally means something, you know. Mm-hmm. Now I feel like I'm part of something, you know what I mean? It was tough in the beginning, dude. I couldn't land a home. I don't know what it was, dude. Like, I could not land a home regardless of what I was doing. I was putting in so much work, like you were talking about earlier, Wilshire 15, Rincon, all these things. 100%. I could never get onto a full team. I was on Chocolate Flow for 4 years, you know what I mean? That was a challenge in itself. I'm like, I almost called it quits. I was like, you know, this skateboarding stuff is not for me. I'm not getting paid. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that Wallenberg contest happened, and Weiss was sticking up for me. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to Bill Weiss, bro. He came through, thugged it out. I was like, you know what? Phelps back up, fool. Like, he's trying a crazy trick. Uh-huh. And so I told Jared Lucas, I was on Bones at the time, and I told him, I was like, look, man, I like Blind. Blind is sick. Weiss is the team manager. He stuck up for me. I respect, you know what I mean? So I sent him my footage. He saw it that same day. Wrote him back the email. Was like, let's make him am tomorrow.
Damn. Like
yeah, man. Let's make him am tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, dude, really like
That's
that?
Right.
Jared told me, he's like, yeah, he's down for you.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was like, man, this is.
You were in the next day.
Next day. Well, pretty much, I had to go to Downtown Showdown as a contest.
Okay.
I had to meet up the team. It was James Craig, Ronnie Krager, Morgan Smith, and Felipe Ortiz were there. Yeah. So. Yeah, we all skated at Downtown Showdown together, and they were like, "Yeah, he's part of the team. Like, he's cool.
Smith, a legend too.
Such a legend, dude. Yeah,
he's such a nice guy too.
Yeah. So yeah, landing on blind, I guess I was like, that was my destiny to get to blind, you know what I mean? And they marketed me really well, you know what I mean? They did that. The reason why I am what I am today, you know what I mean? From that company, pretty much. They put the Pharrell on the board and they did all these crazy graphics. So
heck yeah,
yeah, man.
I remember the was it a blind commercial or was it a super commercial where you're riding around the bike, you're whipping the bike?
Oh, super commercial, dude.
Yeah. That was a super commercial.
That was we mimicked the Snoop Dogg video. That was sick, Gin and Juice, dude.
Who was sitting in the basket?
I was in the basket. Terry TK was the one driving the bike. Okay. And I was in the basket.
That was hard. Yeah. And you had like a jersey on or something.
Yeah, I had the Penguins jersey on. Yeah.
That was sick. For some reason, I thought that was a blind thing. They go to Superman in the marketing.
The market, yeah, man. They killed it.
They had Lil Wayne and stuff too.
Yeah, that was crazy.
To meet Lil Wayne. That was one of my first times meeting Lil Wayne. Was that one of your first times meeting Lil Wayne?
Bro, I got a crazy story about Lil Wayne. Crazy story. So I met Lil Wayne at the Supra. It was like the warehouse or like the training facility session. Okay. It was like I think it was Stevie, me, Blue, Lil Wayne, and Furby. I might even think it was. Okay. But we were skating it, and Wayne was like, "Yo, what's up, man? Like, good to be part of like this team." And I'm like starstruck, bro. Like, oh my gosh, can't believe I'm skating with Lil Wayne. Yeah. So he's skating. I'm giving him props. Like, yeah, man, that's tight, dude. Like, heck yeah, this is like 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, and then I was with my ex chick at the time, so she had to go to work the next day. So I take her back to. I'm like saying later to everybody. Then I'm like, all right, I gotta take my ex girlfriend home. So I say later to Wayne, I say later to everybody else. And Wayne has all these huge trucks outside because he's touring all the time, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like big tour vans, you know what I mean? So I'm taking my ex-girl back home, and after I say later to everybody, and as I'm driving back, I get a phone call, and I'm like, all right, like, why is Dennis Martin calling me right now? He calls me, and he's like, Romar, you got to come back. I'm like, why? He's like, Lil Wayne wants to do an interview with you. I'm like, are you serious?
Lil Wayne wants to interview me?
Yeah. So I'm like, skirt, turn back around, yeah, flip down. I'm sorry, you're gonna be late for work tomorrow.
Crash the car.
Yeah, I'm like, you're gonna be late to work tomorrow. Yeah. So I get back to the super warehouse, and his bodyguard's out there, and he knows I'm coming. So I'm like, what do I say to the bodyguard? I'm like, I think Wayne wants me to come into the bus. He's like, yeah, he's waiting for you. Come on in. Walk into his tour bus, and he's just standing right there. And he's like, Romar, what's up, man? What's up, bro? He puts his arm around me. So cool. And he's like, yo, I want to do an interview with you, man. You down with that? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But I'm like so starstruck. I'm like, crazy. Oh my gosh.
You're in Lil Wayne's tour.
And he knows my name, dude, like my real name and something.
He wants to interview me.
And so he's like, yeah, I'm here with Romar right now. You know, I'm on Spectre. I'm on Supra. He's on Supra. We're skating. You know, he did his like Lil Wayne stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you know, like, oh my god.
You did a full interview.
Full interview, yeah. I forgot his homie's name, but he's the one filming, you know.
Did that come out anymore?
I don't know.
How do you see that anyway?
I don't know.
It's like a long lost interview in
I don't know what they do with all that footage, you know what I mean? All I know is that
it comes out in like a documentary one day.
I heard that he was filming a documentary.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude.
So I was like starstruck, bro. I think that's one of the few times I've ever been starstruck for sure. And the person knew my name. I was like, whoa, it's crazy.
I'm nervous every time, dude. I gave him a wolf board and I was like, hey, bro. And I was like, I hope he accepts it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks, homie. Like super love. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, for sure. That's so tight. Yeah, so I met him. So I saw him again a couple of times after that. It was Tampa Pro and then at this trade show in Miami. But we were at the trade show. And he had his booth. What was the clothing company he wrote for? It was the clothing company. Truck Fit. Yeah, he had a Truck Fit booth.
Yeah.
And everyone knew that he was coming in, so all the paparazzi was in there. And I used to skate for Boulevard at the time. But he walked in, and everyone was circling around him. And I was like, oh snap, that's Wayne. You know, I kind of know him, whatever. Yeah. So I like stopped in the circle. He saw me. He pointed me out. He's like, Romar, come here. Yeah. He's like, yo, my park is out here. He's like, come skate. And everyone was like looking around like, oh my gosh, like who is this fool? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, take my number down. So he gave me his number right on that spot, bro. And I have his number and I'm like, dude, this is wild, bro. So
what was it like having Lil Wayne's number? Were you just like, I could just text him and say like,
I'm like, what do I say to him? How do I say hi? Like, hi, how are you doing today?
What trick did you learn today?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what
this guy's like. Down today, much? You know?
I'm like, what do I say to him, bro? Like, I know we had like a show or something that same night. I'm like, I don't even know how to text this guy. You know what I mean? Like, can I get on the guest list? Like, yeah.
Speaking of shows, bro, how'd you get into DJing? And hold on, not only just how'd you get into DJing, but how'd you get into DJing for Hopsin?
All right, so getting into DJing, I've always had an ear for the music, for like the sound. So I just understood skating, right? No, I just understood like I don't know the theory behind it. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily the words, but like the beats, like what makes you move, like what gets you going. So me and my sister, when we were kids, we would like they had the cassette tapes, so we would on the radio we would make mixes off the radio, like who had the best mixes. So on a cassette tape though, you know what I mean? So we had to wait for this song to play on Kiss FM, Power 106, all these, Cali radio stations. So we would do that. And that kind of created an ear for learning how to understand music, you know? And it was all like the, throwback beats now, like the old school stuff, like Genuine and like, all those type of beats, DJ Premier, all these things that were playing on the radio. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that kind of was always in my ear, and my uncle always play like funky music, all these things that like make us dance. So that's kind of what I was brought up. They would always have the camera out, and we would just dance because they would be playing like Parliament and like the funk music. You know what I mean?
You always vibing.
Always vibing, dude. So I was like, okay, like that makes sense for later. I was always listening to music. I was burning CDs, selling it to people in high school. So that was also another thing to like create an ear. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just try to get a mixer. So my ex-girlfriend got me my first controller, and I dabbled into all that, like learning how the logistics of that works and all the equalizing and all that stuff. And that's a whole nother world, It's nerd stuff. All this stuff. Yeah, taught myself all of it. Wow. I taught myself everything that I know how to do. So I learned that, and then I was getting like I started promoting it a little bit on my Instagram and stuff like that, and like I can DJ. And as a pro skater, once people figure out that you can also do something else, they want to throw you in the mix right away. So I got thrown in the lines and fast, dude. Not knowing how to do, because I was like, I already know how to do hip hop. I don't know how to DJ it, but I'm into this other world. So I was into like dubstep and like EDM type stuff, electronic music, electro. Yeah, I do, bro. I'm the best at that shit, man. Let me tell you, man. Somebody do it right now. No, for real though, I'm a beast at that. Let me just tell you. But I'm just kidding. Well, I love house music. Yeah, house music is the shit. So I was on the way. I was on that wave before everybody, though. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember, bro. Yeah, I was on that wave. 2012, dude. Like
now you see Nigel DJ.
Everyone, yeah.
He kills it. But yeah, nah.
So yeah, man. So I was already doing the stuff for like a couple different nightclubs and things like that. Okay. And I learned how to spin hip hop from playing at Black Bar in Hollywood. Gotcha. So I got a residency there, playing there every weekend. And then I just was there on a random night, dude, just random. And I went there for somebody's birthday, and my boy Seven Machiavelli was like, "Hey, bro, like, cool to see you here. Hopsin's in the back," and he's like, "Yo, I think he wants to meet you. He knows that you're here." I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, all right, cool. I've heard of Hopsin. You know what I mean? Like I know his song, Illmind 5 and all these things. So I go in the back and we start talking. And I'm like, "Yo, I'm Romar, Kevin Romar." And he's like, "I know who you are." He's like, I'm like, Hopsin, he's a very confident guy. He just starts talking, bro. And he starts talking about skateboarding. And then we were just talking about hip hop. And one thing led to another. And we just vibed for like a good 45 minutes, you know what I mean? Before he had to leave. Sick. And I was like, "Damn, that was really cool. He's a cool guy." Yeah. And literally the next day, his manager hit me up. It was like, well, at first Hopsin DM'd me. He was like, "Hey, bro, my manager's gonna reach out to you." He's like, "My information there at the party and stuff." I didn't even get his information. He just found me up on Instagram, DM'd me. That's a real businessman right there. I was like, "Dang, Hopsin's DMing me right now. Yeah. That's cool, bro." So he DM'd me, and then he was like, "Hey, my DJ just quit. Can you like? Is there any way you wouldn't be my DJ?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, I didn't know what you were gonna say." He's like, "I was kind of nervous to ask you." He was like, "I'm kind of nervous to ask you." I was like, "Are you what? You're Hopsin? Like, what the heck?" Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, man." So he's like, "You down?" I was like, "Heck yeah!"
Yeah.
I had no experience with like this. I'll tell you about all this stuff later.
You're
but
like, I'm doing it.
I'm down. I'm super down. I'm super
Figure it
down.
out.
I'm down. I'll
That's
figure
a
it
same
out.
mentality, dog.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how to kick the
Sometimes you gotta get thrown into the lines and like you just
bro.
gotta go leap of faith and just figure it out. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So his manager Jamie hit me up and was like, "I heard you're down to be Hopsin's DJ." She's like, "Welcome to the team." He's like, "We're gonna figure out the next location we're going at, and we'll hit you up with like where we're gonna go next." And I was like, "Sick, man! Like this is crazy." I was only doing bar nights and nightclub stuff, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know like this other artist world. So our first show was with Ludacris was the headliner, B.O.B. and Hopsin headliners. Straight, dude. I was like, "Are you serious, bro? Like I'm doing this type of stuff." I was like, "What?" I had no microphone work. I had no microphone work. I had no experience. I was out there. I had to figure out how to like really. How to really control on a microphone, you know what I mean? Get people hyped and like really, just get the cojones to do all this stuff. Yeah. You have to really got some steel balls for that shit, for real. Because you're in front of a lot of people, you know what I mean? And if you don't know what you're doing, they'll boo you and be like, "Who is this dude?"
They have these expectations.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're a headliner, you got to know what you're doing. Yeah. There's not really too many mistakes you can have being a headliner.
And being right next to someone who's established, like someone like Hopsin.
Exactly.
Like I said, they have that expectation, that standard. Like, we're gonna get this show. Hopsin gives us this kind of show. We're gonna get this, and then all of a sudden you come out.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I'm like, "Hey guys, are you guys ready to see Hopsin? Are you guys ready to see Hopsin?" No, it's gotta be like, "Are you motherfuckers ready to see Hopsin? Let's fuck." You gotta really get people hyped, and they're just like, "Oh, it's game time." It's game time. Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So I had to learn how to do all that, man, and that was the experience, dude. I'm like, damn, dude. After learning how to do all that, gateways open up in your brain. Yeah. You start to see like you're capable of a lot of things you didn't know that you were able to do at first. You know what I mean? Yep. So many things. You know what I mean? That's why I'm able to kind of like maneuver a little differently, because I've gotten thrown in the lines then quick. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm able to handle this now. The pressure of this, the pressure of that. Because there's a lot of pressure when you're DJing for a headliner. There's a lot, especially because
all those people too, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? Everything's got to be to a T. And he puts a lot of work into his music. Yeah. He edits everything. He does all the music for himself. Yeah. He really does everything.
Very hands-on.
Very hands-on, you know what I mean? His own clothing brand, Undercover Prodigy. Like every single thing. So it's like you want to make sure that he's taken care of, you know what I mean? Yeah. So being on the road with him, I've been his DJ since 2016. Wow. Yeah. So amazing, man. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. Dude.
Yeah. All from being at right place, right time, dude. Black Bar, Hollywood, dude.
Timing is everything, bro. The universe is it's an amazing place, dude. It's like you said, like, what if you were just like, I'm gonna stay home tonight? Yeah. We wouldn't be here right now.
Literally, dude. Yeah. Sometimes you just never know. Yeah. Sometimes just leaving the house sometimes is the best thing you can do. You know what I mean?
Like you said, throw yourself in the lion's den, man. When you're most afraid to jump is usually when it's time to go for it, dude.
Yep. You hit the nail on the coffin on that one, dude. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go ahead. I haven't done one of these yet, but let's do a fit check, bro.
All right.
I know you're decked out in the world premiere swag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brand owner right here. So what do you got on, bro? Let's start from the top. Let's start from the hat.
So I got a corduroy. This is coming out real soon. Corduroy brown hat for the world premiere right here. And I got the brown hoodie coming out real soon with the Arch logo. Awesome. Yep. Me and my boy Hugo came up with this design. It's got the back.
There's something on the back too. Okay. World premiere, Journey is Everything.
Yeah, man. I have the matching joggers. I have a matching crew neck with the same color.
Oh, yeah. And the socks are brown too.
Socks are brown. To complement World premiere socks coming soon. Hey. We got the World Premiere cursive logo on here, but the cream one is the same as this. So okay. Yeah, it's
the shirt under is the same. What is the shirt?
It's okay.
Is that World Premiere? Oh, ding. That's sick.
Yeah, it's got the puff print.
That's hard, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man.
This is just one of the logos. I got a couple different other logos. Okay. The main logo is a ticket logo.
Okay.
So that means it's like that's your world premiere. It's the ticket to your world premiere. So that's it's one of the meanings behind it. So
absolutely. Yeah. What about the watch?
Oh, this is a Vestal watch. Nice brown watch right here.
Brown on brown.
It's just classy. No, I don't like too much flashy stuff.
Mahogany.
None of that other crazy stuff. So, you know, I got
Last but not least, what about the shoes? What are you rocking for the shoes? What shoes are you skating in? Are those the skate shoes or just chill?
They're just the chill shoes, the low blazers. Got the nice little brown effect on them too.
Sure.
Keep it matching.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You matched up for sure.
Got to do it, man.
Yeah. Lead by example right here. Take your notes, kids.
WorldPremierBrand.com.
Yes, sir.
WorldPremierBrand.com.
I guess I'll do my little fit check.
What you got on, son? I see the J. Cole. We Are Wolves hat.
We Are Wolves hat.
There we go.
It's like a dad hat. Brought it back.
Love it.
The closet. J. Cole shirt, Jermaine Cole. I don't remember who makes this shirt. My apologies, but shout out to the person who sent this. You know who you are watching this. Appreciate you, man. We got the We Are Wolves. TV star collaboration we did a little while ago.
There we go.
And I'll put my shoes up here. We got some of these right here.
Ooh.
And I skated these too, the Jordans, but
nice.
A little stuff though.
All right, I see you.
I see you
with the blinged out chain too. What kind of chain is that?
I got a wolf sitting on the moon, you know, because we are wolves. Wolf everything.
I love that.
You know?
That's tight, man.
Yeah. So we got. Normally I'm rocking a Rasta Cloud, but today we don't got one.
I feel it.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan.
Yeah, the man.
Yeah. Okay. Couple more questions, man. I won't keep you too long.
No, you're good, bro. This is fun.
What do you think the difference between like us coming up before like Instagram and social media, and what is the difference between now? Like how everything is so social media driven. Before it was like film a video part for 3 years. Don't tell people what tricks you're doing. Wait till that shit comes out. You probably do a video premiere. That's when everyone's gonna see it. Now it's like. You're probably gonna post your stuff on Instagram, maybe some commercials here and there, but mostly it's everything's just kind of moving so fast. You know? Everything's just kind of going.
I think the traditional way that we were brought up is kind of, you know, dispersing a little bit, kind of going away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, I don't know. I think the longevity is still there if you do it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our names are still relevant, and you know, we still have a long way to go. Because we put in so much work for a lot of things where I'm not saying all these kids don't put in work, but you just see them fall off the map pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like they're here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the goal is to have longevity with anything you do. You know what I mean? And it's like Nipsey says, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You know. So you got to be able to like pace yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool if you're gonna branch out and do modeling and whatever. I'm not hating on all that stuff, but. If your career is in skateboarding, you know what I mean? You got to make sure that is going to last.
Stable,
yeah.
Solidify that.
Solidify that.
Branching out and doing other things. Which other things are cool.
Yeah.
But like, where do we start? We got to always bring it back to skateboarding.
You got to always bring it back to skate. If that's your passion, you know what I mean? Your first passion, you know what I mean? Because then you can branch out and do other things. Or you could do it now, but I'm just saying that like, you want to have longevity. You know what I mean? I know this day and age, it's definitely like, I need to see it now. I need to see it now. I need to see it now. But sometimes it's cool to kind of wait. We don't want to have to see all your clips and all the banger clips immediately, because then it takes away your longevity. You know what I mean? Now we know what you can do. You know what I mean? Now we know exactly your arsenal of tricks. So it's like it kind of gives it that mysterious vibe gone. You know.
I think like this day and age, it kind of how fast social media is moving, it defeats the element of surprise. There's not really like anything to really look forward to. It's like, well, we're looking forward to it because we know there's something coming, but it's not really like in a way of like anticipating like, oh, this video is coming out. It's like, all right, we've seen homie's clip. Where's the next clip gonna come out?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. I think it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? Like you could definitely, there's more avenues to become a pro skater now, which is cool. You know what I mean? You're not so succumbed to like doing the hardest things first and then trying to figure it out. Staying flow for years or whatever, you're able to kind of make a company yourself now off YouTube and things like that, which is cool. Yeah. You know, there's different routes to it. You know what I mean? So I think the game has just changed. You know, the game is just a whole different ball game, and you just got to adapt to it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with music. You know, there's a lot of saturation, a lot of whack stuff coming out. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. It's just like that's just the way the times has changed. There's no like There's no gatekeeping anymore. I feel like, you know what I mean?
It's like the Wild West. So it's almost like anything goes.
Yeah. Before there was like a gatekeep. I'm not saying gatekeeping is cool or anything like that, but sometimes there's a certain order. I feel like in order to keep quality. You know, there's a lot of just quantity coming out. You know what I mean?
Quality.
Yeah, when it's quantity over quality, it's a mess sometimes. You know what I mean? When it's quality though, it's a whole different ball game for sure. You want to have quality over quantity.
For sure.
That's what my motto is all the time. Is just make sure everything is quality. Yeah.
And it shows, man. The proof is in the pudding, bro.
Yeah, I try, man. That's
look at your brand, look at your skating, it bleeds through, bro. Quality bleeds through for sure.
That's a try, man. Yeah, because you want to cut through the noise, you know.
Exactly.
There's so much noise around. How do you cut through a pile full of noise?
You know, all this stuff.
Yeah, all this stuff. If you have your own lane, there's no traffic in your lane. You know what I mean? You just cut through all that. You know what I mean? And stick to that formula until it doesn't work anymore. And you got to figure out something. You got to rebrand. I've had to rebrand so many times.
100%.
You know, fro, afro. You know, braids, dreads, like all these things. That's rebranding.
Exactly.
And once you figure out that formula,
that's that pivot though. That's like what Wayne talks about, bro. You gotta know how to pivot. Bro.
You gotta know how to pivot. You do, because what worked 5 years ago might not work today. You know what I mean? Like, what's his name said that? The dude that owned Apple. Steve Jobs talking about that, you know?
Or what's working today might not work tomorrow, dude.
Exactly.
You might have to switch it up tomorrow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to wear your hat a little different. Do the kickflip a little
for sure.
easier, you know?
Yeah. And I've been able to dabble into a lot of different things, like what I wanted to try. Say for music, I wanted to do dubstep, or I wanted to do things. I've tried it. Yeah. It's always good to try something. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, at least you tried it. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and if you fail at it, you know, there's always a success coming later if you really want it. So
those are L's and learning.
Those are learning things, yeah. Because school, you know, that's one thing I didn't like about school. They always taught you that if you fail, you're a failure.
You're a failure.
You're not.
Oh, you got F's on your report card? You're getting punished.
Yeah, like no.
Like, wait, I don't have the opportunity to like make up for it. Like, hold on, like
exactly.
You just F, sorry, bro.
F, and you're done. You know, they treat you horribly, and you're like that. No, but that's part of the process. It's like failing. I've had to fail so many times at things, man. Like it's like, all right, that's part of success. Sometimes, you know what I mean. As long as it doesn't eat you up alive, because it's hard to come back from failure. You know what I mean. Sometimes it can eat you up. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So. And that's what skating. I think skateboarding gives us that grit, where it's like we fail so many times skateboarding, trying to do a trick, trying to do like tricks for hours, bro. Not a lot of people could do that. You know what I mean? They'll be like, I'm done. I'm over it. I'm going home. I'm falling so many times. Like, not the average person does not fall like that in their whole lifetime.
No.
You know what I mean? Not one person will eat the shit that we do, bro, in their lifetime, bro. And if they ever did,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, dude.
Yeah,
they're like, I can't, like,
I've hurt my ankle.
Yeah.
Walking down, I stepped off a curb, wrong, and hurt my ankle. You're like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
You know, no offense. We are seasoned and trained and accustomed to falling and failing.
Exactly.
And I'll say that to say this, exactly to your point. I say skaters are the strongest manifestors because I believe in energy, and what you put out into the world, you get back, right? So we're over here failing, but in the back of our mind, we're thinking about that one kickflip. If we keep trying this, we're failing all these times, but we might land it, and that's all we have in our head. And so subconsciously, we're manifesting the positive outcome, going through the journey of the negative stuff to get to that kickflip land, right?
Yeah.
And so that translates into life. I'll make this short, but it translates into life, whether it's school, whether it's working a regular job, whatever it may be. At skateboard, that's why I feel like we're so persistent and resilient, and we end up making it, essentially, you know, figuring it out, like you said, being thrown into the lion's den.
Yeah.
Because of that mentality, bro. And like I said, skaters are the biggest manifestors, I swear, bro.
Yeah.
We're just so used to failing, but we still believe.
100%, man.
Still have the belief of we failed so much, but we're still gonna do it. Somehow.
I agree, man.
That is like close to craziness, I think. That's what it takes.
It does. You do have to have a level of craziness to do a lot of things, especially with skateboarding. You gotta be out of your mind. A lot of my mom was like, "You're out of your freaking mind. Dude. Like, what are you doing jumping out this 15 stair?" But you got to, man. Like that's the only way that works in this industry, you know, in skateboarding. But if you apply that to everything else, it's the same thing as doing a nollie hill. You're gonna have to learn like nollie hill down to 15 or whatever. You're gonna have to learn things differently though.
Yeah.
The outside world is different than skateboarding. If all you know is skateboarding though, it can be difficult to pivot. But once you learn all the other things, that the necessities outside of that, bro, you can apply skateboarding to generally everything, pretty much. Like
the skateboarding mindset.
The skateboarding mindset, for sure. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people who haven't skated or haven't spent time on a skateboard it's impossible for them to learn that or understand that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
We're very fortunate. Not saying we're better than anybody, but like we are very fortunate to have
totally
skateboarding.
And we learned so much stuff from being sponsored, dude. There's so much schooling for free that we learn without going to school, bro.
So like
we learn how shoes are made. We know how they, create these things on the wall that have the artwork on it. You apply that to, like, if you want to do a clothing brand, all that knowledge you learn, you got free. You got it for free from being unsponsored. You know what I mean? How they create, these mock-ups and things like that,
The crash course.
Yeah, for sure.
They didn't pay for it.
I pay attention. I paid attention to all of that. And on spot. Yeah.
People probably get annoyed at me how much shit I'd be like paying attention to, like, oh hey, you did this, you remember this? How did you? And you're like, I wasn't even trying to let people know I was doing that. Like, how did you even pay? How did you even catch that? Because I'm studying, bro.
You gotta study, man.
You gotta figure it out. I'm trying to learn from you.
People pay top dollar to learn stuff like that, dude. Yeah. Like, how shoes are made and like how all these things are designed. Designers are in the room. You pay attention to all that. That's some free schooling, dude.
What's one thing, like, I bet people didn't know, just to make one mold of one size of a shoe, so let's say a size 8, just the size 8 is like 10 grand for that one mold. And then if you get the size 10.5, it's another 10 grand. So for each mold, it's like 10K. Yeah. So when you first starting out a brand, especially a shoe brand, you're spending a crazy amount of money.
Oh my gosh.
So you gotta factor that in. We're over here just sponsored skaters getting paid, getting free stuff. We're not really knowing what's going into these brands and what kind of business they're doing over here. Yeah. It takes for us to even get a box.
Literally.
So going through those motions, we were able to learn that, and now I feel like, for me, I can speak for myself, it's allowed me to appreciate what these brands have to offer and all they have done. All they do for us and all they've done for us.
100%. Yeah. It's a lot of work, dude. It's a lot of work to create a brand, So.
Speaking of brands, what's your favorite thing about owning world premiere?
My favorite thing is pretty much telling the story, man, like behind it, like all the things we've been talking about, like all of that is a story, what I mean, for the brand, to show the highlight, what this is about, and then you bring it to life. The vision that I have behind it is coming to, to life from people watching my life, you know what I mean? From like watching the stories. And so, my passion comes into like designing the work now, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, all my heart and soul comes into it, you know what I mean? And then when I get to see people wearing the clothes, people are so hyped on it, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, man, that's cool, man. Like that's my vision, you know what I mean? So
you see it
coming to life. Yeah. I'm still early on in this thing, but I want it to grow really, really big, I mean, not super fast, because I don't know what I would do. Like,
what happens if you're in Zoomies, man?
That's cool. I would be down, but like
it's gonna be big.
Yeah, one day for sure. One day for sure. I'm still learning how to, run the business. You know what I mean? I'm doing a lot of it solely, so I'm learning how to maneuver that, that part of it, so I could teach other people if it ever gets to that big. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know exactly what it is that how I want my brand to look. I can just tell them, like, you do this, you do that, this and that. So that's where I'm at right now. So
amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Last question, man. Last question, man. What advice do you have for any up and coming skaters, man?
Any up and coming skaters? I would say just go ham. Create a uniqueness about you, though. Go ham while you find that uniqueness, because there's a lot of people out there that look the same and like skate the same. You got to cut through that noise like we were talking about earlier. So my advice is just to find that one thing special about you that you can, cut through the noise with, pretty much. So
100%.
Yeah, be unique. That's the key.
And enjoy that journey, embrace it until you find your world premiere.
And yeah, the journey is not going to be easy, man. No journey to getting to where you want to get to is easy. So if you get past that one little spot that you're stuck at, just know that's not the end. You just got to keep going. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and keep going could be tough, but it's all up to your mind how you want to go. So
I appreciate your time, bro. Thank you for coming through, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Kicking it in the Wolf House. Kevin Romar, everybody.
Boom.
My freaking brother, bro.
My G.
Forever. We can travel the world, dude. Like,
we travel the world together, man. We've been through so many places, dude. Tokyo and like always
Now,
plays it.
one last thing. Like, what's your favorite tour experience?
Bro, going on tour with you, going on tour with like my bros, man.
Yeah.
Like that was so. When you got on the team, I was like, yes,
Wow,
dude, like
dog.
that's so cool, man.
Dog,
I was
thank
like,
you,
man, this is gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, because we've always kicked it, and now it's like official kind of thing, right? Because I kind of had a similar journey. I'm not gonna say like we've been through the same thing, you know, because we just had different stories. But like I had a similar thing where I like really worked my way to get into the industry. And
I
like,
remember.
It took a lot, bro.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't make it. Like
Right.
you said, I almost was like, shit ain't gonna work out.
Right.
And so when I got to the point of like being on the team with y'all, I'm like, oh shit, I'm here now.
Yeah.
In fucking Asia or wherever they were taking us, we were traveling every other month.
Every month
almost, you know?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I felt that, bro. I appreciate that, man. And
yeah. I remember
cool.
telling Dirty, I told Dennis, I was like, he had talked to me about you. He was like, hey, should we put Nick Tucker on the team? I was like, yes. Like, what you mean? So I vouched for you so hard, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, we need him on the team, bro. If you can do it, if there's anything you could do, get him on the team. And he did it, bro. And I was like, I was so happy, man. Like, you got to come and travel the world. You already saw us traveling the world, but then you got to be a part of it too. I was like, yeah,
you didn't have to do that, bro. You didn't have to care about me, bro. That's
no, I had to,
dog.
man. I was like, bro, this is my boy.
Brother,
Heck
bro.
yeah, man. Yeah, I definitely. I made sure. I was like, I'm so happy that he went through with all this. So,
fuck, man, we at the world premiere now, bro.
World premiere, baby. Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Go, bro.
Man.
Wolf House Podcast. We out this thing, man.
Yes,
Kevin
sir.
Romar, let's get it. Thanks for tuning in. Episode 3. More to come. Let's get it. Peace out. Pow.
Peace. I remember with that one.
All right, so we're in Manila with Supra, the Philippines, Manila, and they told us to stay in the hotel. It was like the first night. They said, all right, it's kind of dangerous out there. Because we were like, we're going to go out on the town and have a good time. We're going to see what the bars are like, enjoy ourselves like we usually do in any other place we're at, right?
Yeah.
They told us don't. And when we got to the hotel, there were armed guards in front, and we had to walk through the metal detector.
Right.
Remember this?
Not really, but.
All right, so we had to walk through the metal. So, fucking Philippines is dangerous.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of crime. A lot of people get jacked a lot. And they told us to stay in the hotel. So that night, I think you might have been the only one. We were rooming together, and you're like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go check the town out. And I was like, don't do it, Kevin. Don't do it.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
And you did it. You went out, right?
Yeah.
And you came back. And you came back hella late. I want to say you came back either that night or the next morning. I don't know. But you went out late, came back. I said the next morning. And you were like, frazzled, bro. You're like, fuck. Like, you were stressing, bro. I was like, what happened, dude? And you told me you got in a cab, you went to a certain place, and they basically got you for your money, and they made you get back in the cab. So what happened was you got to the place, and they offered you a drink. It was a big, expensive bottle. You didn't know how much the drink was.
That wasn't in Manila. You know what that was?
Where was that?
That was in Budapest. That was in Hungary. Budapest, yeah. That was Budapest.
Wasn't in the Philippines?
So in the Philippines, I hopped into a car to go see the city for sure. Because I wanted to see the real Philippines, like the third world, like, you know, not to say that, but like just that grimy stuff.
Yeah, you wanted to just feel
I wanted to just know what was going on there. But yeah, so I did do that. But yeah, Budapest, yeah.
So Budapest. So that was Budapest.
That was Budapest, dude.
Okay, so you ordered
I was with Furby. Yeah.
How did it go? So you got to the it was a bar. Got to the bar. We'll say it was a bar. You got to the bar, and there's a bottle. They gave you a bottle, a big bottle of alcohol.
Yeah.
You're thinking this is complimentary, like water. Thanks, appreciate you.
Yeah.
You're drinking it. Next thing you know, you owe us this much, and you're like, what the fuck, bro? I didn't even expect. What? Like, I had a couple of drinks. How do I owe you this much?
Yeah.
And then I guess what happened, you told me they made you get back into a cab and they like drove you to the ATM.
Yeah,
they made
man.
You get money out of the ATM.
Yeah.
Right? So you paid them, you're cool.
Yeah.
Wiped that away. You got to the hotel. And I remember why you were stressing is because you had left your phone in the cab.
Oh.
Or you had left your phone
at
the bar or the cab or something.
Damn.
And you were like, so not only did they get me for the bottle, but now I don't have, they got me for a phone. And you're like, I'm not even mad about the other shit. This is my phone.
What? Yeah. I don't remember that part, dude. That? No, but I remember because I think the drink or whatever they gave us was spiked, bro. So I was like, in this weird like sense. I never had that happen to me before.
Holy
yeah. I think I went there with Furby, man, and like we came back, we're like, dude, I don't feel right, man. We don't feel good. So Yeah, I don't know where. I don't remember what it was.
That's
Like I don't
so
know what the
crazy.
club was called, but
Damn,
yeah.
bro. Thankfully, nothing else happened, bro.
Shit was crazy, man.
That's not.
I was the first time I ever had that happen to me before.
Yeah.
I was spooked. I was pretty spooked after that.
I was spooked for you, bro.
Yeah.
Cause I remember I was like, I stayed up and shit too. Like, I just was like, hopefully he hits me, cause he's just out, he's gone. I remember I stayed up,
Yeah.
like waiting, like to see if you're gonna come back and shit.
Man, I was wild on those super tours, bro. I was a wild dude back then on those tours, bro. I don't know what I would do, man. That was wild.
I'm a wild.
I felt like we were like fucking celebrities, bro.
Superstars,
Superstar, man. We gotta do this. That's crazy, man.
Good times, bro. Made it out alive.
Yo. Somehow, man. Budapest, of all places, dude.
I had a situation in Budapest too. Like, some people were hating on me, and we were at a super party, and the homie who lived in Budapest had caught wind that like some locals or whatever that were in the party, were hating on me for whatever reason, planning to jack me or something. And my bro
on the super trip.
Yeah, on the super trip.
Really?
My bro gave me his phone, his cell phone, his only cell phone. It was like, hey, I have my wife's phone. Take my phone just in case, like as a real precaution. Like, this fool really looked out for me.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna put you in a cab. These guys are like trying to follow you. Leave the party now. This fool put me in the cab, bro. And I guess like these guys were just waiting. Like 4 dudes were just waiting for me. They had like, what they do is they shank fools out there. They don't have guns. They just like behind me, bro. So I guess they were like plotting because we were the dudes at the party, right? Like, the Americans at the party and stuff. So
yeah, man.
I guess they saw some value in that.
It's different in other countries, man. It's just not the same as being in America, man. It's a whole different ball game out there. So you know, you experience a lot of that stuff too, and racism and stuff. Like it's different out there, you know. So
skateboarding helps you become very cultured, though, especially traveling and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I remember I went to China, bro, on a footprint insole trip. And my fro was out, and they just kept
all. They thought you were an alien.
That, and they thought I was Michael Jackson. They kept telling me, "Hey, Michael Jackson." It's Michael Jackson. Yeah, man. It's a whole different scenario out in these different countries, man. So.
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. That's funny as fuck, dude. They just call fucking Keelan fucking Big Sean and shit.
Yeah, he looks like Big Sean.
He does look like Big Sean.